The Witch of Moon's Lane presents
How to Witch, bitch.
Welcome back to How to Witch, the Witch of Moon's Lane. Michelle, how are you?
I'm good, thanks, Darling.
Now, just recently here in southeast Queensland, we've had quite a major weather event, and I couldn't help but notice on your Facebook page that you had done a certain spell during Cyclone Alfred.
Yep.
That was to... Will you explain it? To calm it? And there were witches
calm
around
it.
the world who actually joined you in this. Tell us about it.
So basically what I did was I did a calm the storm incantation. So it basically I popped it up, and even just regular people that were here at the Gold Coast in Sydney and all parts of Australia sort of came out and were standing. They stood their ground and they harnessed Alfred, basically.
Wow.
So the incantation, if you can go onto my Facebook page, you can definitely have a look at it. It was all about turning it back to sea, and also making sure that when it did cross, that instead of coming through as a 3, it went down to a 1, which we actually managed to do.
That's awesome.
So it was really good. And of course I went in and I did like we were talking about last week about the protecting and how you protect, and so doing the white light around the house and things like that. So we were doing that as well.
There was a lot of panic and a lot of, obviously, we saw a lot in southeast Queensland, people freaking out. And obviously the recovery is still continuing even, almost a week later. I guess that's one of those things that the energy of people can also make the situation worse, where you were calming that energy.
Yeah, and so that's the other thing too. It's kind of like the energy of people sort of going out and buying the shelves bare. And,
it adds to that energy,
just adds
doesn't
to
it?
the
Yeah.
energy, and so people are feeding off that energy. It's almost like when I was saying to you, you can read a room when you walk in of energy. You like a person, you don't like a person. Funny enough, I was actually speaking to someone the other day that was going on about, do you believe in vampires? And I said, no, I don't actually believe in vampires.
Okay, how did you even get to that conversation? Was it just a random person in the shops?
Talking. Yeah, so they were just
Hi,
talking
Michelle,
about,
how are you? Do you believe in vampires?
Well, they know a vampire apparently.
Right.
And there are people in groups that do think they're vampires, and so they drink blood, and there are sort of segments out there that do that. However, I do believe in psychic vampires or energy vampires. I think you've heard of them. And so they just come in and they'll just like suck you dry, run you
absolutely.
cold.
Yep.
Yeah. So
energy vampires is a massive thing.
Yeah, so that's the type of only vampire. I
But so
actually
this person
believe in.
actually has a friend who is a vampire.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what's your relationship like with that person?
I think they're nuts.
Okay. Good to know. But I guess vampires and all that kind of, drinking blood and everything else, that kind of comes into the whole witchcraft thing, because that's what people believe.
Well, that's more of like the Hollywood satanic sort of things going on there. And like a lot of Satanists, they actually don't believe in Satan. Witches don't believe in Satan. We don't believe in the devil.
Okay.
And so Lucifer was the bringer of light. So basically, they're 3 different people. They're not even the same person.
Yeah.
So, I don't believe in that at all. I believe in light and I believe in dark. I believe in evil and I believe in good, but I don't necessarily believe that it's, come and get your pitchfork, that type.
If only this podcast had vision for you to see the pitchfork movement I just witnessed myself. So hang on, you don't believe in Satan, you don't believe in God?
I believe in the universe, and I believe that there's certainly a higher power. So basically, when you're born.
Yep.
So say there's twins in the womb. Okay. So they just have a belief that when they're born, the life outside of the womb can sustain them and that they will actually be able to live. But basically, one could be saying to the other, hey, I think this is it. I don't think anything's out there. But don't you believe we have a mother? Well, I can't see her. So is there a mother there?
Yes.
It's blind faith, isn't it?
Yes.
That you have to believe that when you're born, that there's going to be something out there.
But are you having conscious thoughts in the womb?
Well, that's another thing. So I'm just saying it's another perspective to look at the fact that when you're born, you do have a mother, you do have a light, you do have life after that. So isn't that similar to us saying to ourselves when we die, is there something out there?
Right, okay.
So I believe that there is something out there, but I don't believe it's of
heaven and hell.
No, I think that it's variances, because if you've been because I believe this is a lesson. I believe we're learning lessons, and it depends on how much you learn as to how many times that you come back, which means when you do cross over and you do have a reviewing, you go to a certain stage of heaven. So there's many stages out there. It's not just one sort of stage. Imagine if you've had a life here where you've been a murderer or you've caused all these atrocities. You're not going to go and suddenly get into heaven, but I don't believe you're going to go into hell either.
So you're going to have to make up for what you did.
Right. Or did you come down and your brain was damaged, or there was something that happened through no fault of your own that made you that way?
It's got a bit deep, didn't it?
It just did.
I mean, we started with vampires. So, I mean, where do we go from there? Let's just go to reincarnation and murderers.
But basically, when you get to the other side, you do have to review what you've done. I mean, you don't get off scot-free, but you certainly don't go to the higher realms. You've got to start there, and you've got to start repenting and then looking at what's my next life, what am I going to learn in my next life, and, what type of vehicle am I going to choose for it? Am I going to come back as a man or a woman or as an animal?
That comes back to past lives as well, which is something that we should touch on in another podcast because my brain's about to explode. That's okay. I hope you're still with us. We have had a couple of comments from people who have been enjoying the podcast.
Oh, that's great. I'm so
absolutely
glad
love the F-off spray. Loved it. Swear by it from Mel's. Actually went out and bought another one for my friend, which is nice. Raven. Oh, that's an appropriate name for a podcast listener of this one. Keep them coming, ladies. Loving them. Gave me a good laugh as well. Kelly is a sea witch.
Ooh.
And she said that she loves it. Great to hear familiar voices talking about woo-woo stuff.
All good.
That is woo-woo.
Woo-woo.
And people need to be more educated, not frightened.
Exactly.
Which is actually pretty cool. Just returned from Salem at Halloween, and the freedom and acceptance there is incredible.
Oh, yeah.
Where is Salem?
So Salem is basically in America. So I think it's in Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
But it's, the whole of Salem is pretty much all about, that's where they had the witch trials. So it's all about where all the witches live. There's lots of psychics. There's lots of gift shops. So you walk through. Have you been there? No, but I want to go there. So that's something
is
that
it
I'm
like
going to have on
Disneyland for witches?
I guess it would be.
Like Mardi Gras for witches.
I love that. Yeah. There are a couple of witches I do follow that are there, and I'm looking forward to seeing.
Okay. Very
Laurie
interesting.
Colbert is actually from there.
Yeah. Okay.
So if you want to look her up.
Someone else said as well, the energy and vibe between you two larrikins are amazing. Clearly she's listened to the episodes where we couldn't stop laughing. You've answered so many questions for myself and know others will benefit.
Oh,
and
that's
shared
brilliant.
with us. Now, just going back to where we started with today's episode, it was the cyclone, and you said that you protected the house. In a past podcast, we've talked about protecting people. So putting white light around them, and then also freezing people out of your life by putting their name in an ice cube and popping it in the freezer, which is actually my favourite part. My fridge is getting quite full.
I've had to go and buy a new one.
You got a deep freeze, babes.
Deep freeze.
Let's go back to the house protecting, because you said with the cyclone you were protecting the house.
Yeah.
One of the things I think we've touched on before is putting salt around the outside of the house. Is that right?
Yep, you can certainly do that. But another thing is to put, black obsidian on all four corners of the house. But it's really about visualizing white light protecting the house, and that is basically starting at the front of the house and then going anti-clockwise and just going all the way around and just sort of saying, I protect this house.
Nice.
And it's really simple, really easy to do that. You can put spell jars in the four corners as well with all different herbs, and we can look at that. I guess we can ask listeners, what do they really want to know? If they want some info on some spell jars, we can certainly look at that.
Yep, definitely. That's very interesting. And also we were talking today about covering off things like glamour spells, because one of the things that you've brought up a number of different times is with this podcast, what you want to do is help people who are going through negative things and also the feeling of using positive energy, the energy that's created by witchcraft, to actually help them through situations. So a glamour spell, for example, I know what it was when I was watching the Hollywood movies, so they just all of a sudden look amazing. But what is a glamour spell, and how can that help people?
Goldie Hawn.
Goldie Hawn. Death Becomes Her. One of the greatest movies of all time, I might just mention. I love. I'm going to watch that again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cool movie.
So a glamour spell. So let's think about, who we're concerned about. Say a 15-year-old girl, not a lot of self-confidence, is going through a lot at that age. How can a glamour spell, and what is it, and how can it help them?
So it's a bit like you are what you eat and you are what you feel and
you are what you believe.
You are what you believe, that type of sort of thing. A great thing is really when you basically get up in the morning is, a lot of people feed the black wolf, but
Absolutely.
they forget about the white wolf. And so, that's why it's called the black dog, for depression. So we have a look at feeding the white wolf. So in the morning, whether you believe it or not, you're going to get up and you're going to say, I'm a good person, I'm a good friend, I'm a good daughter or son, I'm good at my job. And you just start saying these positive things. You go in, you look in the mirror, right? So as you look in the mirror, you think about all the people that have looked in that mirror that may have looked in the mirror and thought, I feel terrible today. I don't look great today. I've got a pimple, the spot that it goes, whatever that is. But it is a portal. And so often when I'm actually cleansing houses, I always say, remember the mirrors. Go around the mirrors, but go anti-clockwise. Go in, funny enough, like a cyclone. So you have a cyclone, and so you go through there.
Yeah.
As you're just saying, negative, you're no longer welcome here. Please leave. You're no longer welcome here, and you just go around and around and around. So what we can do with an actual mirror spell is you just take rose petals. You can put your favourite perfume in there if that's something what you wanted to do. Definitely lavender, which is to calm. So I love the calm. We've got ling lang in there as well. And I just like to put rosemary in because rosemary's for luck as well.
You just love rosemary.
So I just love rosemary.
Witches just love rosemary.
Basically, you put it all in and you make like a little paste and then you just pop it in the corners of the
mirror.
The mirror. And so it just reminds you to be kind to yourself when you come and look at yourself. So you'd say, mirror of beauty, reflect and enhance, draw forth my aura in this sacred dance. With petals and light, let my charm grow as above as is below. Let my true beauty show.
I love that. That would be great for young people to actually be. It's like giving themselves a bit of a pump up before they get out of there.
And it's just something that they then learn to say, and you just naturally wherever you are. So you're going somewhere and you use a bathroom. You just wherever you go, you see a mirror, you say it.
Love it.
If you're feeling lousy, I would actually say don't look in the mirror. I mean, if you have to because you've got to go out, just remember that you have those there, and that when you look at yourself, you say, I look great today. I look fabulous today. Pick something you really like about yourself, even if it's just your glasses or your nose or, the curvature of your mouth. There's always something that's
bringing
beautiful
that positive.
That's bringing in, and then you're just doing that. And so that then in turns is if you've done when I've woken up, I've done the I am. So that when you're actually there looking at the mirror, you've got kind things to say.
And it'd be nice as well to have little positive affirmations around the mirror. I've seen that's another way as well. And that's producing that positive energy. And also taking the focus of, the negative that because of course we always see the negatives first. But if we remind ourselves of the positives, then that can really help. What do you mean by portal? A mirror is a portal. Okay,
so when I'm ghost hunting, often spirits will hide in mirrors. So they'll hide in mirrors, they'll hide in vents, they'll hide in places that we can't get to. So they are portals.
Portal. Where's
another thing is a portal.
To?
There's a lot of people you can do mirror spells where you can actually bring people in from another genre in through that. So you've got to be really careful when you're looking into mirrors because mirrors are classed as portals.
I just thought they were glass, but apparently not.
No.
Okay, we need to go onto that because my brain is done now. I'm out. I'm done. Thank you for today. We've covered.
But I'd love to hear if people do that and actually.
I understand the importance of a mirror because I just don't understand the hiding in them. But that's something we shall come back to.
That's spirit, though.
Okay.
That's when spirit, they often hide in the portal or hide in there. So that's why.
It's actually interesting, though, now that I've just poo-pooed you, many years ago when my first son was born, he would always look over our shoulder and he would always be talking to someone at night.
Yeah.
And I happened to be around a psychic who said, your mother, who passed when I was young, comes through the mirror.
Yeah, there you go.
I just realised that and I just poo-pooed you. All right. That's for another podcast.
That's another podcast.
All right, done. Thank you for joining us. Make sure, you leave a comment, leave a review. 5 stars are always fantastic.
We love
They're
a 5
absolutely
star.
beautiful. And thank you once again, Michelle.
Thank you.
Woodwork Podcasts.